Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn about the different gate questions. Okay, we are going to see the different gate questions from the operating systems, and the first question is asked in the gate 2004, and this question is from the process synchronization. Okay, so here it is given that the semaphore variables full, empty and mutex are initialized to 0, n and 1 respectively. Okay, and process P1 repeatedly adds one item at a time to a buffer of size n. Okay, so process P1 is going to add the data to the buffer, and similarly process P2 is going to consume the data from the same buffer. Here it is going to remove the data from one item from the buffer, so using the programs given below. Okay, so process P2 is going to consume the data from the buffer. Okay, so here if the producer wants to produce the data to the buffer, okay, so it has to check whether the given buffer is empty or not, right? So if the given buffer is empty, then only it can produce the data to the buffer, right? So that means P1 is checking the semaphore empty. Okay, so producer is checking the semaphore empty. Similarly here P2 is consuming the data. That means so if the buffer is full only it can consume the data. So if the buffer is full it can consume the data, and if the buffer is empty it cannot consume the data, right? So that's why it is checking the semaphore full. Okay, and here given that semaphore variables full is equals to 0 and empty equals to n and mutex equals to 1. Okay, so and here is the producer and consumer problem. So both the process cannot access the buffer at the same time. So here the buffer is acting as the critical section, and only one process is allowed to enter the critical section at a time. Okay, so by running the following code we are going to find the variables k, l, m and n respectively. Okay, so here, so if you check the option A, so it is performing the down on the semaphore full. So we cannot perform the down operation on the value 0, right? So down means it is going to increment the, so if you want to perform the down operation, the semaphore value must be 1. Okay, so if it is 0 means the process may get blocked. So that's why we are skipping this option. So option A won't work. So next B. So here also it is given that it is going to first perform the down operation on the full. So we cannot perform the down on the full. So that's why option B won't work. So next coming to the option C. Okay, so in the option C, so it is going to check the P of empty. So P of empty means, so it is going to perform the down operation. So P means down operation on the empty. So n empty means, so it will become n minus 1, and V of full. So V of full means it is going to decrement the value of mutex by 1. So it will become 0, and the process will enter the critical section here, and it will it will produce the data to the buffer. Okay, so here the m is the value, the semaphore for the critical section, and V of mutex. So V means it is going to increment the value by 1. Okay, that means the producer has produced the item and it comes out of the critical section. So next it is given that L value is V of full. So V of full means it is going to increment the full variable by 1. So F will become 1. Okay, so next given that for the consumer the code is, so P of empty. Okay, so P of empty, that means we have to perform the down operation on the empty. So it will become n minus 2. Okay, and then it will enter the critical section, but it won't happen, right? Okay, so you cannot, so here the producer, the P2 has to consume the data. So it will, so here the consumer has to check the semaphore f. That means it has to check the variable f only, but here it is checking the semaphore empty. Okay, so it is checking the semaphore empty, so that's why this option also won't work here. Okay, so it cannot consume the data if you apply this option. Okay, so the option D is the correct one. So that we are going to check here, so how it is correct. Okay, so option D is correct here. So option, first of all, the full is 0, empty is taken as n, and m equals to 1. Okay, so here p of empty, that means down on the operation, and down operation on the semaphore empty, so it will become n minus 1. Okay, and then so v of full, so that we are going to apply in the L. Okay, so next it is going to perform the down on the mutex, so m will become 0 and the process will enter the critical section, and the producer P1 will produce the item to the buffer. Okay, after that, after producing the data to the buffer, it is going to come out of the critical section. Okay, and then we are going to increment the m value to 1. Okay, so here the mutex value is for the critical section, to enter then exit the critical section. So after that, L value is given as V of full. So V of full means we are going to perform the up operation on the full, so it is going to increment the full value to 1. So down means it is going to decrement the value, up operation is going to perform the increment on the semaphore. So next one is, so consumer code, the P2 is the consumer code. Okay, so P2 is going to first of all check the semaphore full, and P1 is going to check the semaphore empty, right? So P2 is going to check the semaphore P of full, so that means it is going to consume the data, right? So that's why we are going to perform the down operation on the full. So if we perform down on the full, which is given value here, f equals to 1 to 0. Okay, and then P of mutex, that means the mutex value will become 0. Okay, so here the mutex value will become 0. Okay, and the P2 will enter the critical section and it will consume the data from the buffer. After consuming the data from the buffer, so P2 is going to come out of the critical section by making the V of mutex, that means so here the value 0 will become 1. Okay, and then n value here is V of empty. So V means we are going to increment the value of empty semaphore. So if you increment the empty semaphore value, it will become n, right? N minus 1 plus 1. So it will be n. So that's why empty value will become n here. Okay, so like that the code will successfully run for the option D. So this is like a producer consumer problem. So in this question, so given that consider two process P1 and P2 accessing the shared variables x and y protected by two binary semaphores Sx and Sy respectively. So both are initialized to 1. So given that two semaphores, that is Sx equals to 1 and Sy equals to 1. And P and V denotes the usual semaphore operations, where P decrements the semaphore value by 1 and V is going to increment the semaphore value by 1. So the pseudocode of the process P1 and P2 is given below. So in order to avoid the deadlock, the correct operations for the L1, L2, L3, L4 are respectively so given in the options. So in the given code for the two process P1 and P2, so we have to find the option so which will allow the program to execute successfully here. Okay, so we have to select the particular operations. So if the particular operation is applied for the code, then the code must execute successfully here. So first, if you check the option A, okay, so L1 is L1, L2. So for the L1 and L2, it is given that P of Sy and Sx. So P of Sy and P of Sx. for the L1 and L2. And then so P of Sx and P of Sy for the L3 and L4 it is given. Okay, so now if you apply this code, so here, so there is a hold and wait condition here and circular wait condition also. So here, so process P1 is holding the Sy and it is, so here the process P1 is holding the Sy. Similarly here process P2 is holding the Sx value. Okay, so P means we are going to decrement the value, right? Okay, so here the given Sx and Sy as 1. So these are initialized to 1. Okay, so first of all we perform the down operation on the Sy. So that so what will happen here? So Sx value is 1 and Sy equals to 1, right? Okay, if you perform down operation on Sy, so it will become 0, and here if you perform the down operation on Sx, it will become 0. Okay, and you cannot perform the down operation if the semaphore value is 0, right? Okay, so if you perform this one, P of 0 means we cannot enter the critical section, right? So if you check in the process synchronization wise also it is false, and if you check in the deadlock format also it is, so it follows the deadlock, right? Because P1 is holding the Sy and P2 is holding the Sx. Okay, in the second line here it is requesting the semaphore Sx here. Okay, and similarly here it is requesting the semaphore Sy. Okay, so here the Sy is already in the it is hold by the P1, and here Sx is hold by the P2. So here P1 is holding Sy and it is requesting the, so it is requesting the Sx. Similarly here P2 is holding the Sx and it is requesting the Sy. So there is a circular wait here, right? So that's why it arises it gives a deadlock condition. Okay, so if you check the next option, so option A won't work here. So if you check the next option, that is option B, so it is given that for the L1 P of Sx and L2 is P of Sy. Okay, so if here P of Sy and P of Sx. Okay, so here also, so deadlock condition will occur because P1 is holding the Sx value, right? So here if you check it in the semaphore wise also, if you check, so the option will be wrong only. Okay, so P means down of Sx, it will give 0, and down operation on Sy, it is given 0. Okay, okay, so here next, so P of Sy means here it is already 0, right? So that's why it cannot enter the critical section, and here also P of 0 means it cannot enter the critical section, so that's why there is a deadlock here. And if you check here in the, it will satisfy the condition of the deadlock. Okay, so here also there is a circular wait. So P1 is holding Sx and it is waiting for the Sy. Similarly here P2 is holding the Sy and it is waiting for the Sx value here. So that's why there is a deadlock here. Okay, so P1 is holding the semaphore Sx and it is waiting for the semaphore Sy, which is held by the P2, and P2 is also holding the Sy and it is waiting for the value Sx here for the semaphore Sx. So that's why there is a circular wait here. Okay, so that's why option B also won't work here. Okay, so next one is option C. If you check the option C, so P of Sx, okay, and then P of Sx. Next one is given as P of Sy and P of Sy. So here, so for the process P1, so it is going to, so it is holding the Sx here and it is waiting for the Sx, right? So here there is a hold and wait condition. Okay, so here, so P1 wants the Sx and P2 wants the Sy. Okay, but both will not be releasing by its process P1 and P2 because there is no way to release them. So it is stuck in the deadlock. Okay, so P1 is holding the semaphore Sx and P2 is holding the semaphore S5. So again it wants the semaphore Sx here. So P1 again wants the Sx and P2 wants the semaphore Sy. Okay, so that means P1 is holding the semaphore Sx. Okay, and P2 is holding the semaphore Sy. And again it is requesting for the semaphore Sx and the P2 is again requesting for the semaphore Sy. So there is a circular wait in the given process itself. Okay, so that's why there is a deadlock in the option C also. Okay, and if you check the option C, it won't work. So option D will work here. Okay, so option D given that P of Sx and P of Sy. And here, so P of Sx and P of Sy. Okay, so here after executing the P1 we can execute the process P2. Okay, so that's why, so here in this condition there is no deadlock. Okay, so here so P1 in the line 1 and P2 in the line 3, so both this need the semaphore value Sx. Okay, and then the P3 the P1 line 2 and P2 line 4 needs the value Sy. Okay, so P1 executes the critical section, then up the value of the Sx, and P2 in the line 3 and line 4. Option D, it is correct. So P of Sx, that means first of all we are going to execute the process P1, or else if you can execute the process P2. Only one process we can execute because it is given that Sx value equals to 1 and Sy equals to 1. Okay, so P of Sx means that it is going to perform the decrement operation here. So 0 and P of Sy, so it is perform the decrement operation here and the process will enter the critical section here, and it is going to increment the x value by 1 and y value by 1. Y value it is going to decrement by 1, and then so it is going to execute the V of Sx and V of Sy. That means it is going to perform up operation here. So again the value of Sx will become 1 and V of Sy, so up operation on Sy, so 1. Okay, so next P2, so in the P2 line 3, so line 3 it is given that Sx, so that is the down operation on Sx, so 1 will become 0 and then P of Sy, so down on the Sy. So the process will enter the critical section and it is going to perform the increment on y value and the decrement of the x, that is x equals to y minus 1, and then it is going to perform the up operation on Sy. So here what will become, so Sy is given 0, right? So it will become 1 and Sx, so that is up operation on Sx, that means it is going to increment the value by 1. Okay, so like this the option D works for the given code. So in the given question, suppose we want to synchronize two concurrent process P and Q using the binary semaphores S and T. The code for the process P and Q is given below. So here it is given that there are two processes P and Q and these two processes concurrently executes with the semaphore S and T value which are initialized to 1. And we have to find the W, X, Y and Z variables in the given code, and we have to produce the output string such that it must never contain the substring of the form 0 1 power n 0 and 1 0 power n 1 where n is odd. That means it should not produce the strings 0 1 0 1 0 1 and n must be odd here, right? That means 0 triple 1 0 and 1 triple 0 1. So the output should not be in this format. Okay, and here so we can check the given options such that the output be in this format for the given code. So let us check the first option, A. So A is given as plus at W. Okay, at W it is given as P of S and then V of S at X. And for the Z, sorry, for the Y P of T and for Z V of T. Okay, so actually a process can access the critical section, right? But here both the process can access the critical section simultaneously and it should not print the strings of this type. Okay, so P of S means, so here the S and T value is given as 1. Okay, both are given as 1. So P of S means down operation on S, it will become 0, and then P of T means it will become 0. Okay, so now it can print the strings here. So first it will print the 0 and then 1 0 and 1. So there is a context switch between the process P and Q here. So here first it will print 0 and then 1 and 0 1. Okay, okay, or else it can print in this format 0 0 1 1. Okay, sorry, so it can print the strings in this format only. Okay, so 0 1 and 0 1, so which is in the format of the given one 1 0 1 format and 0 1 0. So this is not the answer. Okay, so next one, so B, option B we will check here. So W it is having the P of S and at X we are having the V of T. Similarly here for the Y we are having P of T and for Z we are having the V of S. So S and T value are given as 1 here, S equals to 1 and T equals to 1. Okay, so P of S means down operation on semaphore S and P of T, that means down operation on semaphore T. So now it can concurrently execute the code here. So it will print, first P will print 0 and then Q will print 1. So again P will print 0 and Q will print 1. Okay, so now so it has printed this value. So here both the process are concurrently executing, that means it can print the combination of 0 0 1 1 here. Okay, so it can print the string of the combination 0 0 1 1. So in that combination, so 0 1 0 1 is the possible string here. Since the both process P and Q are concurrently executing, so there will be number of possibilities of the strings. Okay, so now so V of T, that means it is going to increment 0 to 1 and it will come out of the critical section. Okay, and then so V of S, that means it is going to increment the value of 1 and Q is going to come out of the critical section. Okay, so here B is also not producing the correct string. Next, option C. So here for the option C we are having only semaphore value S with which is initialized to 1. So S is initialized to 1 here, right? So and T is not given. So now and for the X it is V of S and for Y it is P of S and Z it is V of S. Okay, so here S value is initialized to 1. Okay, so since there is only semaphore with the which is initialized to 1, so only one process can enter the critical section here. So in the previous options there is two semaphores which is initialized to 1, so that's why two processes are directly entering to the critical section, but here only one process will be allowed to execute here. So now process 1, so let us suppose the process P enters the critical section by making it as 0. Now the strings 0 0 is printed here, and at code X, so v of s, that means increment the 0 to 1, and the p completes the it completes the execution, and then the process q will start executing here. So s is given as 1, so it will become 0, and it enters the critical section. It prints the value 1 1, and so after entering the critical section, it prints the value 1 1, and now it is v of s means up operation here. It is going to increment the value by 1. So that's why there is a 0 0 1 1. So if the process q enters the critical section first, then the combination will be 1 1 0 0, which is not in this given format. So option C is the correct answer here. Okay. So coming to the next question, suppose we want to synchronize two concurrent processes P and Q using the binary semaphores S and T. The code for the process P and Q is shown below. Okay, so here it is given there are two processes, that is a process P and process Q. Okay, and these two are the concurrent process. That means two processes can access the critical section simultaneously, and the two processes will execute simultaneously. Okay, so given the condition that synchronization statements can be inserted only at the points W, X, Y, and Z. So which of the following will always lead to an output starting with 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. So in this format, the output must be printed for the given process programs. Okay. So here there are given some variables, that is W, X, Y, and Z. So in that particular variables, we have to keep the down and up operations given in the options. Okay. So here given there are two processes P and Q, so which are accessing the critical section simultaneously, and these two processes run concurrently here. So concurrently means, so any kind of string can be printed, like so 0 0 1 1 or else 1 1 0 0. Okay, so 1 0 1 0. So like this, any kind of statement can be printed. So that's why, so we should not allow both the process to run concurrently. Okay, so here given that the output string, and the string starts with the 0 0. That means the process P has to execute first. Okay, and while process P is executing, we should not allow the process Q to execute, right? Because so the string starts with the output string starts with 0 0. So while the process P is printing 0 0, process Q is not allowed to access the critical section, right? It should not print the values 1 1. So after printing the value 0 0, then Q must be allowed to print the values 1 and 1, right? So remember this thing, and we can search the options here. Okay, so here in the option A, given that P of S at W. Okay, so it is given that P of S at the W and V of S at X, and P of T at Y and V of T at Z, right? See here, and given that the two semaphores S and T, which are initially 1, so two semaphores are initialized to 1. Okay, and we know that, so to print the string, so first it must execute the process P. Okay, so it will, so here S is given as 1 and T is also given as 1. So that means these two processes will start executing simultaneously, right? So here S and T both are given as 1. So the two processes will start executing simultaneously, and it will print the string. Okay, but we need the string in this manner, right? So in this manner, if the string must be printed means, so only one process can be allowed to execute, that is only process P is allowed first and then process Q. So like that, randomly process P and Q must print the strings. So option A is not correct here. So next we will check the option B. Okay, so given that in the option B, so P of S at W, so it is given that P of S at W and V of T at X, and similarly for the Y, it is given that P of T and then V of S at the Z variable. Okay, and here two semaphores are given, that is s equals to 1 and t is equal to 0. So s equals to 1 and t is equals to 0, right? So this option we can allow it, right? Because the semaphore s is given as 1 and t is given as 0. So if you perform down operation on the semaphore 0, then it cannot enter the critical section and the process will be blocked here. So now the process s is equal to 1, right? So that means, so p of s, so we're going to perform down operation on the s, so it will become 0, and the process p will enter the critical section. It will run the strings, that is a 0 0, it will print the strings 0 0. Okay, and then at the x variable, the value of t. So initially t is 0, so we are going to increment the value of t, so it is 1. Okay, so now process p will stop executing and the process q will start executing. Okay, so here the process q will start executing. So p of t, okay, so p of t means down operation on the t. So t is 1 now, so it will be decremented by 1 and it will become 0. So t will become 0 and it will print the strings 1 1, right? And then v of s, okay, what is the s value? S value is 0. So v of s means it is going to increment the s value by 1. Okay, now s value has become 1. So now again the process p will start executing because s value is 1 and t is 0. Okay, so now t is blocked, right? So while one process is printing the strings, another process will be blocked. Okay, so now s equals to 1, again it will execute the process p. It will become 0 and s will become 0 and it will print the strings 0 0. Now v of t, that means up operation on t. So t is now 0, it will become 1, right? So here p of t means it is going to again decrement the t value by 1 and 0. So t will become 0 and then it will print the values 1 1. So v of s means it is going to perform the up operation on s. So which is s is here 0. So it will become 1. So now the values are s equals to 1 and t equals to 0. So again this process will repeat. So again the process p will execute. Okay, and then after printing 0 values, then the process q will execute. So this process will repeat and the whole string will get printed here. Okay, so that's why option B is the correct answer. You may have doubt that option C will also become correct, but here given that s equals to 1 and t equals to 1. Okay, so here we have to print the process p strings first, right? That is 0 0. If both the values are 1, then it cannot print the strings. Okay, if s equals to 1 and t equals to 1, so there may be a chance that, so here the process p and q will start simultaneously and it will print the strings, and we cannot get the strings in this format. Okay, so that's why option B is correct. Okay, so coming to the next question. So each process pi, okay, the process pi, so where I value is 1 to 9 is coded as follows. Repeat p of mutex critical section, v of mutex forever. Okay, so the code for p10 is identical except it uses v of mutex in the place of p of mutex here. And what is the largest number of a process that can be inside the critical section at any moment? Okay, so here they have given the code for the process, that is a process 1 to 9. So this is the code, and repeat forever is similar to while loop. Okay, so repeat forever is used in the Pascal programming. So it is the functionality of this repeat forever is similar to the while loop in C language. Okay, so here, so process pi is given with 1 to 9. So here up to 9 process are there executing this code, and then the code for p10 is identical to this program except that the p10 here it is having v of mutex and then critical section and then v of mutex. So here they have mentioned that, So except it uses the v of mutex in place of p of mutex. So what is the largest number of process that can be inside the critical section at any moment? Okay, so this is the code of the p10 as given in the question. Okay, so now we have to find that in the critical section, so what are the number of process present in the critical section? Okay, so that one we have to find here. Okay, see here we are going to run the while loop. Okay, so we are going to run the while loop for the process p1, that is the first process. Okay, so we are going to execute the first process. Okay, so this is the critical section. Okay, so now, so it is given that, so mutex value is always initialized to 1 here. Okay, so semaphore value, that is mutex value, is given as 1, m is equals to 1. Okay, so now p of mutex, so p means down operation on the mutex value, so it will become 0 and the process p1 will enter the critical section. Okay, so here the p1 is in the critical section. Now we are going to execute the process p10. Okay, so if you execute the process p10, so we can execute only the process p10 when m value is equal to 0 only we can execute the process p10, because so for the to enter then exit the critical section it is given that v of mutex. So now, so v of mutex, that means we are going to perform the up operation here, that is incrementing the value by 1, right? So we are going to increment the value by 1 and the p10 will enter the critical section. Okay, okay, so now in this moment p1 and p10 are there in the critical section. Okay, so now again, so p of mutex for the process p1 to p9 we are going to check this one. Okay, so here semaphore value is 1, so we are going to perform the down operation, so it will become 0 and the process p2 will enter the critical section. Okay, so p2 will enter the critical section. Okay, so now we are going to perform the v of mutex. Okay, so v of mutex we are going to increment the value by 1 and then p10. So here the p10 process is already there in the critical section, so that's why, so we are going to block the process p10 and place it in the waiting queue. So that's why we are going to remove the process p10 from the critical section. Okay, so we are going to remove the process p10 from the critical section and place it in the waiting queue here. Okay, p10. Okay, so now the semaphore value is here, we have checked that m equals to 0, right? So here the m equals to 0, right? And the process p10 we have blocked here. Okay, and then we are going to perform the v of m, that means we are going to increment the 0 value by 1, right? So now p10 is in the waiting queue. So now what is the value here? M equals to 1. See, after exiting the critical section, so it is placed in the blocked queue. So that's why we have executed the v of m. Okay, now so next one, so next we are going to repeat this p of mutex. So here 1 is right, so we are going to decrement by 1 and p3 will enter the critical section now. Okay, so while the p3 is in critical section, so p10 is again going to enter the critical section. So m equals to 0, we are going to wake up the blocked process p10 to the critical section. Okay, we are going to again wake up the p10. Okay, so now m value we are going to make it as 1, right? So v of m means it is going to increment the value by 1. Okay, so now again we are going to check this process p of mutex. So p of mutex we are going to execute. So now P4 will enter the critical section and 1 will become 0. So now again P of 10, here V of M, but process P10 is already there in the critical section, so that's why it will come out of the critical section. Okay, so M equals to 0, but we are not allowing P10 to enter the critical section because it is already there in the critical section. So now P10 will be taken out of the critical section here. Okay, so it will be placed in the waiting queue. Okay, and at the last one V of M. So now P of P10 has came out of the critical section, right? That's why we are going to execute the V of M. When the P10 process is there in the critical section, we are not executing this one, right? If you check the repeat forever for the 1 to 9 process, so we are executing only P of mutex because the process enters the critical section but the process is not exiting the critical section. That's why we are not executing this V of mutex. If the process comes out of the critical section, then we can execute this. So if you check P1, P2, P3, P4, all the processes are there in the critical section only. They have not exited the critical section. Okay, so here the P10 is blocked, that's why we are going to execute the next code, that is V of M. So now, so V of M means 0 will become again 1. Okay, so now M value is 1, right? M value is 1. So now, so the next process that will be executed is P5. So P5 will execute and it will enter the critical section by making M value to 0. Okay, so now M value is 0 and the P10 will enter the critical section. So it will wake up the blocked process and the P10 will enter the critical section. So P10 will enter the critical section here. Okay, so now the P10 will enter the critical section. So again, when the P10 enters the critical section, so it will become 1. So V of M means it is going to increment the value by 1. So now again repeat this process P of mutex. So it will become 0 and the process P6 will enter the critical section. Okay. So like that this process will repeat and all the process can enter the critical section, that is P7, P8, P9 and P10, all the process can be there in the critical section. But they have asked that what is the largest number of process that can be inside the critical section at any moment. So the largest process is P3, say number of process is 3, right? So in the given options, if they have given 9 or 10 means we can keep that option as right, but here the maximum number of processes given in the option is 3. So three process can be there in the critical section, right? So if you allow to execute this process, all the 10 process will enter the critical section here. All the 10 process can be there in the critical section, but in the given option, so we are going to choose the option 3 because it is the maximum number of process that can be there in the critical section. Okay, next one. So consider the methods used by the process P1 and P2 for accessing the critical sections whenever needed as given below. The initial values of the shared Boolean variables S1 and S2 are randomly assigned. So here given that two processes are there, P1 and P2, which are trying to access the critical section. Okay, so now the process P1 and P2 are going to access the critical section, but the semaphore values for the S1 and S2 are randomly assigned. That means if S1 value is equals to 0, then S2 value equals to 1. And similarly, if S1 value is 1, the S2 value will be 0. So like this, the semaphore variables are randomly assigned here. Okay, suppose I am taking the first one, that is the semaphore value, which is having 0 and 1. Semaphore S1 is having 0 and S2 is having the value 1. Okay, so with this option I am going to select here. Okay, Okay, so here the S1 value is 0 and the S2 value is 1. So if here in the execution of the semaphore, if you see while loop, so after the while loop it is given a semicolon. Semicolon means false. Okay, so normally in the C language, so after the while loop the semicolon is while condition, the semicolon is not given, right? So the while condition followed by some set of lines will be there in the C program, but here S1 equals to S2 followed by semicolon. That means if the given condition is false. Okay, so normally in C language, so while we are going to give some condition like I less than 5, like that we are going to give the condition, and if the condition satisfies, then we are going to execute the loop here, right? But here it is going to be reversed. Okay, so while the condition is false, then we can execute the critical section. Okay, so now we are going to take the S1 equals to 1 and S1 equals to 0 and S2 equals to 1. Okay, so here we are going to check 1 equals to 0 equals to 1 or not. Okay, so we are going to check 0 equals to 1, S1 equals to 0 and S2 equals to 1, right? So 0 equals to 1 or not. So double equals to means, so we are going to compare whether 0 is equals to 1 or not. So it is false. Okay, so 0 to equals to 1 is false, right? So that's why we are going to enter the critical section, and the process P1 will enter the critical section here. Okay, so here if the given condition is false only, then it can enter the critical section, or else it won't allow the process to enter the critical section. So here the given condition is false, that's why the process P1 will enter the critical section first. Okay, so after executing it, so it is going to change the variables here, S1 equals to S2. That means it is going to make S1 equals to S2, right? That means we are going to assign the S2 value to S1. So now S1 will become, so S1 will become 1. Okay, so here given that S1 equals to S2, that means actually the S1 value is 0, so it will be made 1 here. So now next we are going to check the process P2. So S1 not equals to S2. Okay, so that means S1 is, what is the S1 value? 1. So 1 is not equals to S2 is 1. So 1 not equals to 1. So it is false, right? So 1 equals to 1. So here the condition is has satisfied. That means 1 not equals to 1. That means the given condition is false. So if the condition is false only, then it can enter the critical section. Okay, so it will enter the process P2 will enter the critical section, and after executing the critical section, it will make the S2 equals to not of S1. That is negation of S1. So here S2 value is changed to 0. That is negation of S1 is 0, right? 1 negation is 0. So S2 will become 0. Okay, so again the process repeats here. The process P1 will enter the critical section. So here it is going to check the while loop. So 1 not equals to 0, it is false, so it will allow the process P1 to enter the critical section. Again the values will change, and this process will repeat. It must describe the properties achieved here. Okay, so mutual exclusion but not progress but not mutual exclusion. So progress but not mutual exclusion, neither mutual exclusion nor progress, both the mutual exclusion and progress. Okay, so here it is following the mutual exclusion, right? That means while one process is executing, P2 is not allowed to enter the critical section. Okay, similarly here, while the P2 is executing, P1 is not allowed to enter the critical section. Okay, so like this there is a mutual exclusion in the given program. Okay, so next we will check whether there is progress or not. So here it follows the mutual exclusion but not progress, because both the process P1 and P2 cannot be there simultaneously in the critical section, right? So while one process is executing in the critical section, other process has to wait even though it wants to enter the critical section, right? So that's why it is a mutual exclusion but not progress. So next one is The following program consists of 3 concurrent process and 3 binary semaphores. The semaphores are initialized as S0 equals to 1, S1 equals to 0 and S2 equals to 0. Okay. So now given 3 processes here, that is P0, P1 and P2. Okay. So while given the condition while of true, so here given that for the semaphores S0 equals to 1, S1 equals to 0 and S2 equals to 0 for the 3 process. So we have to find out how many times it will print the 0 for process P0. Okay. So here given that S0 equals to 1, S1 equals to 0 and S2 equals to 0. So that means we cannot execute the S1 and S2 first. So we have to execute the process P0 first, that is S0 equals to 1. Okay. So while true, weight of S0, that means we are going to decrement the S0 value which is initially 1 to 0. Okay, and it will enter the critical section, it will print the 0 here. After that it is going to release S1. So release of S1 means, so we are going to release the S1 value which is given as 0, right? So we are going to release means we are going to perform the up operation, that is incrementing the value by 1, and then release of S2. So S2 is 0, right, initially, so it will be incremented by 1. Now the values of S0, S1, S2 has changed here. Okay, so now the process P1 will start executing. So it will execute weight of S1. So weight of S1 means it is going to decrement the value by 1, it will become 0. Okay, and then release of S0. Okay, so release of S0 means it will increment the value by 1. So when the value increments by 1 here, so again we are going to execute the process P0. So here the S0 will become the 1. So next process P2 will execute. So S2 is 1, right, it will decrement by 1, and then release of S0, because so release of S0, so S0 is already released here. Now so we are going to perform the weight of S0 for the process P0. So that means it is going to decrement the value by 1, and then it is going to print the value 0. Okay, and then release of S1 and release of S2. So we are going to increment the value by 1 for S1 and S2. Okay, so here if you execute all the process P0, P1 and P2 at least once, then we can print the value 0, 0 here. Okay, so that's why the answer is at least twice. Okay, so if both the P1 and P2 concurrently starts, then only 2 times 0 will be printed here, that is 0, 0, 0. So hence the answer is at least twice. Okay, so here you can print the same options as a 000 also. Okay, so if you change the order of execution, so you can print 000, but they have asked that minimum what is, how many times it is going to print. So printing, so if you execute each and every process at least once, then you can print 0, 0. Okay, so or else if you are not executing concurrently means, then you can print minimum 3 zeros in this given question. Okay, so next one, consider a system having m resources of the same type. M resources of the same type.